Another thing I wanted to share with you is kind of so you can get an idea of where I'm going and what I'm talking about and how Babylon might be in your life, or you might be in Babylon, is, the situation, let's say, with Miley Cyrus. Hang on a sec. I think that was last year. Can't remember what date it was, but anyway, she's up there doing her little Illuminati twerking and carrying on in a crazy manner. Personally, I think that girl went through some kind of a sick black magic sex ritual before she went on that stage. I think it's possible that things were done to her. I don't doubt one bit that things, if you look at some of the mind control stuff, they put these Disney kids under mind control. They can take them and use them as sex slaves. All this stuff is very real. Go look on my YouTube channel. You will see some crazy videos. I'm not the one that has uncovered all of this. It's a lot of other people, and I'm very thankful to all those people who have done this. And I really think, afterwards everybody was upset and everybody was talking about it. Well, see, they do that on purpose because they want to get your energy. Everybody flooded the internet. Everybody sent their energy. Everybody was literally worshiping, basically, I'd say the Antichrist, but you're really worshiping, you're putting your energy towards Satan by even participating in it, getting upset about it. I look at it and then I walk away. I look at it and say, that's interesting, it's awful, and then I walk away. I don't get a lot, I don't do anything with politics. Jesus never was involved in politics. I know a lot of people are always posting on Obama. Okay, let me just tell you right now, Obama is not the problem. Obama is the fall guy. He's been set up to be the fall guy. And they know that, and you guys fall right along with them when you're going, oh, Obama's doing this, Obama's doing that. You know what? Obama's doing what Obama needs to do. And the Lord has control over everything. He knows everything that's going on. I'm going to give you this little tidbit also, and that is that God is bringing this tribulation about. He's bringing the tribulation in order that to cleanse His people. Okay, that's why He's doing it. That's why we're seeing all these problems and troubles, and the military is going to come down because He's actually using the powers of darkness to do His work. And so I don't go against this thing coming on. I'm not for it. I don't participate in their energy and worshiping of their gods. But I just don't, I don't get into it. I don't care. I told somebody was sending me Obama emails, and I said, please stop sending me these emails or anything political. And I said, Obama needs to worry about Obama, and God's people needs to worry. That's Babylon. That's what's going to go on in Babylon. Satan is the god of this world. That's going to go on in the world, because it is Satan's world right now. It's only temporary. It's not going to go on for very long. I don't know. It could be 5-10 years. It seems like it's coming on pretty quick. But anyway, like I said, I just don't participate in any of that stuff. I'm like, I once in a while I'll make one comment here and there on something I see on Obama, but pretty much anything political, I pass by it. It's there where it's Babylon. It's what Babylon does. I don't feed it. I don't share it. I know it's out there. I go and look and I see things here and there. I learn, and then that's enough for me. I'm done. Anyway, when you're going along and you're all upset, I just want to show you something real quick here. What Miley Cyrus was doing. She was acting out, and I hope you could see this. The god Kali, and Kali is a destroyer. Okay, I don't know if you can see that here. Let me see. I'll put it up closer. Or bring it back here far. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so you see Kali here. It's got the tongue hanging out. That's why you're seeing. We got the spirit of this God going on all over the place. It's in all the magazines. Everybody's posing with it. This Kelly's got the sword here cutting off someone's head here. One of the worshipers got the foot on the one of the worshipers here, getting ready to chop the head off. Anyway, she's got her tongue hanging out. She is a destroyer. Very nice lady, she is. anyway, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Another thing I saw a few weeks ago, I said I don't watch TV very much, but I sometimes go to friends' houses, and I was at my friend's. I was actually house sitting, dog sitting. It was a lot of fun. And so, I had a chance to watch a little TV, and I saw something on Oprah Winfrey. And first of all, let me make a few comments, because before I saw this show, and I know Oprah Winfrey's been around a long time. Actually, when I was in the church, it was kind of common. All the women in the church pretty much watch and worship Babylon, Oprah over there. But I want to show you something. I picked up this magazine because I was doing a decoupage project, and I needed some photos for this project. And so I went into to get magazines at the thrift store, and so I was just randomly picked these out. And so anyway, I picked up this one, and I didn't pick it out on purpose. I just grabbed it, and then later on it was laying there, and I looked at it and I went, whoa, what do we got going here? This is a perfect example of what's wrong with television and what's wrong with Oprah. Oprah here is portraying, she's an Illuminati, what do they call it? She's an Illuminati worshipful master. She's got the top hat on. She's got the red dress. Very interesting. You should not, I don't think you guys should play along with this lady. And then on the inside, she's got Jimmy Kimmel, the elf, here sewing up her dress. Kind of interesting, but this is showing, see, this is what we're saying on TV and in the magazines and the fashion. In all the media, they're showing you, in the movies, they're telling you what they're doing and who and what everyone is. Who the gods and goddesses are, and she's one of them. She's a goddess of Babylon. And anyway, it was interesting because I watched this Oprah show, and I'm sitting there, I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing some other things. I was listening to it in the background, and all of a sudden it was like the Lord brought it to my attention, and I went, whoa. First of all, she was having her master class, and we got to ask ourselves exactly who is Oprah's master. Oprah's master is not God or Jesus Christ. Oprah's master is Satan. She's a Luciferian. She's already talked about on the internet how she, allows spirits to come into her. You could see it on her TV. She hates God. She hates Jesus. But anyway, it was really interesting. This particular master class, there was a lady who was their victim, if you ask me. And this lady was talking about, maybe some of you saw this. Anyway, this lady came forward. She was one of the students, or pupils, I guess. And she was talking about how she'd gotten into this car wreck. Like I said, I'm not even familiar with the master class. I think I've seen one other. I don't even know exactly what the purpose is, but I do now know what the purpose is to give them false Babylon gobbledygook, I guess I'll call it, psychology, pop psychology. This lady had basically gotten drunk, gotten in a horrible car accident, almost killed her daughter. She damaged her daughter, but it was really interesting because she was talking about how there were voices in her head. And this is a really good example of how demons can come into you. This is the other way, by the way. This is it. How demons come into you through trauma. That's the fourth way. Trauma, familiar, family spirits, you let them in. Abuse to you, abuse that comes from others, and trauma. There's 4 ways. And so anyway, she had these things talking in her head, telling her she was a terrible mother, she was this or that, and right away I recognized it. These are evil spirits that have entered this woman through this traumatic event. And there they are, they go into her family and everything she's experiencing. She's having a really hard time. She cannot get over it. These thoughts are just in her head. She's got a spirit of guilt also included. Let's see, she's got a spirit of guilt. Let's see if I can name these spirits. Definitely a spirit of guilt, spirit of hatred towards herself. Some spirits came into her, basically. And anyway, so there's these, up on the stage, up on the altar of Oprah, these ladies are sitting there and, they're giving her all this pop psychology. Well, you just got to do this, and you just got to think that you're a better person, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. Well, I got news for you. That lady is not going to get rid of those thoughts, because they're spirits and they need to be dealt with. The truth needs to come into her, and then she can be set free. But first, she needs to know Jesus Christ. And so this is one way where a lot of people are worshiping in Babylon. Like I said, look, don't sit here and think that I'm, Miss Perfect. I don't ever watch programs. I don't ever do this. I actually like to watch movies on Netflix. I have Netflix. It's very cheap. I get it streaming. I actually watch them on my laptop. It's probably not really good for my eyes. I need to get a TV screen in here so I like to watch a lot of documentaries. But I watch shows. I go to a friend's house. That same weekend, I actually watched The Housewives of Beverly Hills. No, is it the Beverly Hills one? No, the other ones, the California, Orange County. Anyway, and I'm very familiar with these because I used to watch these girls on a regular basis. And I'm going to tell you, the first thing whenever I watch those shows, I want a drink. I want to get some wine, and I used to do that actually. I'd go, my house, and I'd have some wine. I'd be drinking, and these women, they're just so absorbed with themselves. They have no hope, completely absorbed with themselves, and just watching them with all their, their weird, I'm sorry, I'm a natural kind of person, and I'm not knocking people that want false nails and all these hairdos and these weird, fancy-looking clothing. And I'm not against that, but there's something about when I see women like that, they're just all made up, and just like, they're almost like plastic to me. But anyway, just tons of hatred towards each other, and gossip and fighting and everything else. And so, I usually go, when I was watching at my friend's house, and I'm like, actually, I look for a movie. I like Turner Classic Movies. Sometimes you can watch that. But again, I don't want you to think that, I'm some kind of person that, just sits back and does nothing. But what I said before is that when I watch TV, I go in and watch TV with different eyes. I'm not sitting there absorbing into it, feeding my energy into it. But anyway, if this speaks to you, it speaks to you. So you can decide for yourself. The Lord is in you, and you feel corrected in some way. The Lord wants to correct you. He doesn't want to harm you. If you want more of Him, and He is, and you feel like He's correcting you, I think you should let Him, because that's where it begins. And that's where you start to become free. And then once you do that truth, and this is the stuff, this is why there's a problem with the church, is because they should be telling you this stuff on the pulpit. This is where, if it's so great, and church is so great, they should be telling you the truth on the pulpit, and they're just not. And by the way, I'm going to say two more things about the church. There is no rapture. I'm sorry, nobody's getting out of here on a magic carpet ride. The scriptures have been completely read wrong. And actually, there's something completely opposite coming. It's not a rapture. It's actually a reckoning. And that scripture says where one is taken and one is left. You want to be one of the ones that's left, because the ones that are taken, they're taken where the eagles are gathered. The disciples asked Jesus, where are they being taken? Jesus said they're taken where the vultures are gathered. Well, in their day, they said eagles, but in their day, the eagles were considered vultures, and they are a vulturous bird. They were killed. They were murdered. Okay, so I'm just going to straighten that up with you right now, and maybe I'll even get into the rapture later. First of all, the rapture, let me just say this about it. It's not even God's style. God's not going to have, airplanes crashing into places and people leaving, and killing innocent people, non-believers, cars crashing so you could leave, and then your clothes laying everywhere. That's completely retarded. There's absolutely nothing even remotely near that in the scripture. I mean, when people just, I see these things, these clothing laying, on the internet, and pictures of clothing laying on the grass, like somebody had left their body. It's not God's style, okay? So stop it, really, seriously, stop it. There's no magic carpet ride out of here. You're going through the tribulation unless you die before the tribulation. And do not ever even think about killing yourself. Because if you could kill yourself and go to heaven, I think we could all do that. I really don't believe that you can. I personally, from my research, do not believe that you can commit suicide and go to God's kingdom. Now, I want to say another thing. Trey Smith, awesome video, The Theory of Everything. One of the things he said in one of his videos, and I really liked it, I was like, wow, cool. I didn't write it down exactly because I can't find where it is in his video. He says the greatest deception, and one of the things that people say is the greatest deception is that Satan has succeeded in making you believe he doesn't exist. But Trey says it's not that he has succeeded in that making you believe that he doesn't exist, but that he has succeeded in making you believe he doesn't exist and that you are free. And I went, wow, that's good, because I think a lot of Christians think they're free right now, and they're really not. They don't really know what having the Holy Spirit is in their life. I didn't know what it was like until, just recently, these last 4 or 5 months. I'm telling you, when the Lord lifted off this last thing, there were things before that and I got freedom from, but when this last thing came off, let me tell you, it was amazing. And I want to say, because someone made a comment and said, hey Victoria, I see you posting all this great stuff. I don't know why I've never seen your post before. And so I was telling her, I go, well, because, I was not able to do it before. It's like, and I got, right as I was writing her back, I basically got this picture in my head as I was talking to her. It's as if the Lord took the chain off my neck like a dog and said, go. And that's the analogy I got, and it's really been like that for me. It's like, go, and that's why I'm doing all this now. I'm going, I'm doing what he's told me to do. Anyway, so again, let's see my other note, darn it. Okay, so you have that. Again, earlier I was talking about all the areas that we have lost control to the Luciferians, and I forgot some of the stuff, but this is what it is. It's these are all the areas the Luciferians, they've controlled the whole world, and the financial institutions, the government institutions, the media institution, the food institution, systems, the health organizations, the education, the churches, the weather organization, or what, I don't know even what they call that, the science. They got a hold of this in the science department, in every way, in the spiritual, everything. The Luciferians have infiltrated, and Babylon is all around you. Okay, so you really need to get Babylon out of your life, get the Lord in your life, because you do not want to be found unwanting when this tribulation really kicks into full gear. And oh, by the way, I wanted to say for Trey Smith, he has an awesome book called Thieves. I want to get this book. It looks hilarious. It's Thieves. You got to go see his YouTube channel. He's really funny. He makes me laugh. He actually robbed, he knew the son of a TV pastor, I guess, Murdoch, and he actually robbed him and busted out the safe out of his house and ran to Mexico. Like I said, I haven't read the whole book, but he, after this happened, he actually, it sounds like he ended up in jail, and he wrote his story, and it sounds like he's pretty much turned his heart to the Lord. He really sought God, and now he's doing awesome work. And that's how it works, is, all of us of God's people are all screwed up in some way. And so what God does is help take those things, in our past that are not good, and turn them into good for him, and to show other people. Like with my past, I'm going to share some things with you that you haven't even heard, and you're going to go, what? And a lot of friends of mine I don't even think know. And it's just because the only reason why I'm doing it, not to get attention or anything, but because I think we need to be transparent as Christians, to say, hey, we've had these problems. There's a lot of hurting people out there, and if we're sitting back acting like we're just too good and we don't have any problems, then there's something wrong. So I've had a lot of problems in my life. I've lived in a lot of darkness. I've been on the edge of darkness. I've wanted to die many times. And now I'm okay. The Lord has brought me back, and people need to hear that and know it. So anyway, and I also want to say thank you to all my friends on Facebook, the ones I'm communicating with. I really enjoy your comments on my posts and that you're there supporting me. And I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your hearts. This isn't just about me. You guys, excuse me, I have a itch in my nose. I ate some cheese and some pesto earlier, and I had a reaction, and see, I shouldn't have ate it. I love pesto, but honestly, I actually, when I make it, I don't put cheese in it, but there was cheese in it, or there's probably actually some chemicals in this store-bought stuff, but it was so good. I handed over some tomatoes for a little lunch a little bit ago, and that was my lunch. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to all those friends, and I want to say one more thing, just to let you know. I change my picture a lot on YouTube because I'm kind of an artist. I get bored easy. Actually, I like to have some fresh photos. I very rarely get my photo taken. I'm usually behind the camera. And it's just fun, so you'll see I'm not conceited. I'm not doing it because I want your attention. But sometimes if I put the big, whatever that banner is, I have to change my little picture to make it match or kind of make it look cool. So that's why I do that. To be very honest with you, there was a time in my life I couldn't even look in the mirror. This is years ago. I was in one of my first foster homes because I ran away from home, and I actually had myself removed from my home. I had the social services remove me from my home. That's a whole interesting story. I really do not recommend anybody do that, especially during this time and this day, and at this late hour in the time of the world, because the social services, they're doing some very evil and crooked things. They're stealing children, and they're actually now putting them in the sex trade. But anyway, when I was in this foster home, I had a moment where I couldn't even look in the mirror. I just hated myself so much. And so now I have my pictures there, and I like myself. I mean, this took years. I didn't even like myself up until, even the way I looked, until a couple years ago. But anyway, so I'm not like this conceited person. I'm trying to get attention. I just do it because it's for art, and for, I like to post the Jesus pictures, and just, I find all kinds of stuff through a lot of you guys on Facebook. I go through your sites and look at your pictures, and I take them, and then I put them on mine, so thank you. And so anyway, again, this is my first video. I just wanted to show you kind of who I was and what I'm like. And that if something, you get something out of this, I really hope so. I am going to go into more stuff. I'm not really sure where I'm going to go from here. There's so much I have like this huge, and I go, Lord, where do I even begin this life? I've lived 15 lifetimes in one life. So we'll just see what happens. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to you all. And I just wish I had somebody to turn over my little video card here and go, hey, edit this video. Because now I have to go figure out the video software, and this is all new to me, and hopefully it won't take me too long. I can get this video out to you. But anyway, I want to say goodbye and peace out, and God bless all of you. Bye.